Hello everybody, Glitch Trooper here. I'm back for another Lycanites equipment combos, and you may have had me angled at I may have had been at an angle where it was almost impossible to see it for a moment, but let me just walk forward a bit. But yeah, this is my new little combo creation, Terrorclaw, and it really will be a bit of a terror. This thing is designed to really bring the fear and terror into your enemy, and just the concern for what is going to even happen. Is there a... There's a Roa next to my base. It looks like something's volunteered itself to be a target. Oh, you're gonna fling those poor sheep, aren't you? If you do, you are so gonna regret it, because this thing has a pretty wicked little design here. Yeah, it's so after those sheep. Let me demonstrate. Stay away from the sheep. Good. Nice of you to go poof for me. You died with honor. Ha ha ha. Interesting timing. I just watched something Star Wars. I mean, not Star Wars. Lips. We've discussed this lips. Anyhow, I was watching something very... Oh, what just... How did that even... Did I have some of that in my inventory and forget about it? I might have. Then again, something else nearby that... Did... Oh! It knocked off my... Oh, that's what happened. I forgot that attack could do that. Quick lesson in Lycanites mobs. A Roa's ability to move entities is not limited by what those entities actually are, so... Yeah, I need to kind of draw this back in here. So yeah, that all just kind of happened in a very odd way. Is there any other left? This is a very bizarre disaster at the beginning. Just saying. Because that is so not intentional. Yeah, that all happened. So let's get these instructional things back together. So, yeah, let's try to ignore that as much as we can. The fact that all had to... Whoa! My headset was slipping. Sorry about that. Maybe a little disorientating. Okay. Yeah. Roll can smack other entities around, not just mobs and players, so it apparently knocked away my item frames. It's a good thing I shot him, because I was certainly not wanting to put up with that again. Yeah. As I was gonna say, this one's designed to be particularly creepy, almost a villainous weapon. And as usual, I'll kind of go over the parts you'll be needing for it, and also kind of go over something I hadn't before in Lycanized mobs that might be relevant with this design. I'll have to check. But, yeah. The thing is that it's going to involve an Argus tail, a Banshee eye, and a Claw. So, among other things, as usual, I go with level 3s. And when it comes down to it, you'll also need to know where this stuff actually is. Argus tail is going to be your base, and that comes from whenever you defeat a large number of elementals, Argus will show up. Also, sometimes they'll spawn in the end, just spawning there. So they'll show up in those two ways. And this will allow you to sometimes summon an Argus yourself, but it also adds instability to your target, which causes them to violently jostle around a bit, and sometimes enough to fling them into a position where they take fall damage. A Banshee Eye is from Banshees. They dwell underground near structures, usually things like mine shafts, but also others. So whenever you're exploring underground structures, you might find Banshees. They can phase through things, so whenever you summon one of these with this, it will be kind of dramatic because your enemy will literally have nowhere it can run, because they'll just go through the wall to find them. It'll also add the fear effect, which scares things away from pretty much everything else. So that's an interesting debuff that it's going to have. Another thing is a Terrorclaw. Again, a lot of this is very underground, because Grus tend to show up in dark areas underground a lot. And although this is considered a blade, you should also note that he kind of considers this making it considered a mace, because if a blade part harvest is a shovel, which this one does, then it counts as a mace. And so that's kind of an interesting thought too. You'll be able to summon Grus with it, it will blind your target, and make you go temporarily invisible. It also has a decent sweep, which increases the chance of summons, as I've explained before, that basically half your sweep is the percentage of a summon. Also, another special note about an Argus Tail is that it allows you to launch Chaos Orbs at instability on impact as a projectile. But note it says primary use, not secondary. I'll explain that whenever I put this thing together, as well as I may have already demonstrated it without explaining exactly how it worked. So, yeah, all these nice, lovely versions of it will soon be put to good use, and also demonstrating how this thing not only looks, but how it acts. So let's put this thing together, as I traditionally do. Now, the base is the Argus Tail, the head will be the Banshee Eye, and the blade part will be the Terrorclaw. That one's particularly straightforward, although I also want to save one each of these to test something, and to possibly show something special about the mod. So, there's a reason why I did that. So now we have our Terrorclaw. And, as traditional, I'll also rename it on the spot to show that the next one is going to have the same name as the one that I've been carrying around. And so I can demonstrate what it does. Now, altogether, it will have, well, I can put this one over here. A 1.9 attack speed and 8 damage. Now, I can also maybe put this in my offhand to do a little dual wield action in terms of how it looks. Yeah, that is cool. So, remember how I said primary use? I'm clicking use click and nothing's happening. Also, it makes it look like I have two right hands rather than two left hands, which is kind of funny. Yeah, the way they line up is kind of hilarious. Yeah, they always orientate one way. Okay, but yeah, the thing it means by primary use is primary use button, which means instead of using use click, you'll be using attack click. Now, you can't hold it down to continuously do this, because I'm actually holding it down right now. But as fast as, and it's not quite as fast as you can click, there's a slight cooldown. And note that the path is a little chaotic, but also somewhat following gravity. This makes it a little harder for an enemy to evade, because even they don't know where it's going to show up. And, of course, neither do you. So they might walk into it, and you might have to do a little operation to work them out. Now, we do have a hunter here, and it will do various things on impact, as I've stated before. Allow you to summon up to 3 different things, and on top of that, they will be unstable and feared on impact, as well as blinded, while you are temporarily invisible. So that guy's actually not just trying to follow you, he's getting jostled around a bit. So he's kind of getting repelled a bit there. Now let's give him a shot. Yeah, see, he took fall damage because it flung him so far from the instability that he literally just wrecked. He wrecked ashore. On the other hand, I don't want to hit the cows. And this thing's... Okay, he does heal himself a little bit. At least once. Yeah, see him jumping around there. See, this is why this thing is very annoying to your targets. Wow, he really sailed that time. Because you're close to the cows, I'll just nick you out there. Thank you. Oh, wait. No wolves. No wolves. I have sheep over there. Normally I don't whack wolves, but I want to save the sheep for trying to test out shearing functions on these things. Did I get summoned? And where's that third wolf? There he is. Hey, there's a Gru. Hi, Gru. I just summoned you. Yes, that rhymes. I know it. And also note, summons do not last very long, but they can be a pretty good impediment on your enemy while they last, so keep that in mind. This one's mostly combat focused, although it does harvest as a shovel, so this mace variant can help you get through soft earth very quickly, and do other things a shovel would be expected to do, which is primarily that, although admittedly there's also the idea of like making a path and all that if he's got that function in currently. I'm not sure that he does. Nope, not in this exact version, and I'm not sure about higher right now. I know hose work, because I did that with it. I know shearing functions work. I have sheared sheep with my equipment before, but apparently the shovel patting down a grass path isn't working in this exact version. It might in another, so that might not be too big of a deal. So you just keep that in mind. It may vary by your version as to whether or not that function works. But hey, fun projectile. The ability to smack the enemy in melee pretty decently. I mean, 8 damage is a little better than your average diamond sword. But remember, these can't be enchanted. You can only really get bonus damage by buffs to yourself and debuffs to the enemy. And there is a Skyless and an E-Array. Well, this is what I get for having my demonstration area on the shoreline. So, it's a lot of aquatic mobs like to visit me. So, which is a good thing, actually. After all, wouldn't it be a little lonely without them? Oh well. Anyhow, I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later, and bye for now, everybody. Whoops. Almost forgot to show something very special. It goes along with this. In Lycanites mobs before, you could do this with all the parts, is turn them into a useful item of some sort. But this is a transitional thing, because eventually he wants it to be where the parts act more like this, where you can get charges that correspond with the part that you could use to level up another one. So if you have spares, you could therefore level up other parts to get them up eventually to the highest level, which is 3. So an Argus Tail right now is giving Chaos Orbs, which are appropriate because they give the Chaos element and can be infused into an Argus Tail to level it up. So that's something I kind of didn't get to show at the main part of the video, but special addendum there. So sorry about the little lapse there, but it is something that needs to be shown at some point so you'd be able to know how to use your spares now rather than some of the previous ways of doing them or ideas about that. So, yeah. So, now I can definitely say thank you and goodbye for now.